I think the next 5 to 6 years are going to be just absolutely, or 4 to 5 years are going to be absolutely amazing for Bitcoin. I do think we're going to get to $1 million Bitcoin. It may be a little slower. It may take 10 years, but it could happen in 5 years. It could even happen a little earlier. But I mean, you're looking at an asset that could go 10x from here. I think the risk that the asset ends 5 years from now down from where it is very low. And so I think you really just want to be buying Bitcoin, and not just a little bit. You want to be long a lot of Bitcoin, and you don't want to be playing around with it. You just want to be holding it and waiting for this scenario to take place.
Fred begins his analysis by discussing the power law, a foundational principle in Bitcoin's historical price behavior. According to his calculations, Bitcoin's trend line currently hovers around $80,000. By 2029, this trajectory suggests a trendline price near $365,000. While $1 million per Bitcoin may seem lofty, Fred argues that it falls within a reasonable range when considering one standard deviation above the trend line. This analysis forms the baseline for his optimism, offering a green light for discussions about Bitcoin's exponential growth over the next decade. Fred strongly advocates for a buy and hold strategy, emphasizing the futility of attempting to time the market. He recounts scenarios where traders, despite capturing short-term declines, often end up with diminished positions due to taxes, fees, and the psychological challenges of re-entering the market at optimal levels. According to Fred, Bitcoin's long-term potential far outweighs the risks of temporary downturns, making a strong case for maintaining conviction during volatile periods.
Please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. You can also check out our other videos on cryptocurrencies and the overall digital asset space, and drop your comments and observations in the comments section below. Everything you do helps with the YouTube algorithm and immensely contributes to the channel's growth. Thanks, and enjoy the video.
A lot of people now are throwing this number of 1 million by 2030 out. Some people have said by 2029. For example, Bitwise has said 1 million by 2029 is kind of their number. But let's sort of examine how we get there and what it looks like in terms of a path to get there. So I got a few things I want to show you. So first of all, let's just ask ourselves, is this going to break the power law? So this is an old spreadsheet I did. There's a lot of different ways of looking at the power law. But the trend line of the power law, is sort of around 80,000 right now. And, 5 years from now, we're getting to 365,000 trend line. So it's, a million's kind of a lot higher than that. But, what I would look at sort of one standard deviation up using these power band approach that I like, we're almost there. So I would sort of say, this does not say we're not going to get there within 5 years. Within 10 years, I believe that we're absolutely going to get there within 10 years. We're going to get to 1 million. But so the first thing we have to go on is the power law. And the power law, I think, is okay, gives us the green light for talking about getting there. Now, let's just ask ourselves, how does this look in terms of these different sort of milestones, right? And before I do that, I want to look at this tweet that I did. And here's this tweet, and this is my sort of steps to Bitcoin 1 million. Well, obviously on January 20th, we're getting a new administration. I think we're going to get some form of Bitcoin strategic reserve. It may just be as simple as we designate the current Bitcoins that we own as a strategic reserve. We may get something more like the Cynthia Loomis bill. I would like that. I'm not sure we're going to get that immediately. But we're going to have a new SEC chair. MicroStrategy is undoubtedly going to be raising more money in the form of convertible bonds. possibly preferred. And I think all this is going to get us to Bitcoin 150 by the end of Q1. Okay. Now, the next big thing is, how do we get, what happens at the end of 2025? Now, there's people who look at this 4-year cycle are saying that's going to be the end of the bull market. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I definitely think we could see massive ETF inflows in 2025. I think, we had $35 billion of ETF inflows, and we had another almost the same number from MSTR. So I think we're going to get something like 100 billion of inflows in 2025 for just the ETFs, and possibly like 75 billion of buys from MSTR. Who knows? But I think we're gonna see some notion of other countries announcing their reserve funds. I think we're gonna probably see one of the Magnificent Seven buying some BTC. I think the advisors are all going to start allocating, and I think we're going to have a really great year in 2025. It may be a 250,000 Bitcoin year, which would be fantastic. It may be a 420,000 Bitcoin year, which would be even more fantastic. But let's just say we have a great year and we're somewhere around 400,000 at the end of 2025. And then we have, from there, we have 26, 27, 28, and 29, 4 more years to double, basically. And that does not strike me as being that difficult. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen just straight up, but, a doubling from this rate, even with a bear market in between, doesn't strike me as beyond. It strikes me as kind of reasonable. Now, and I put here, along the way, we're going to, IBIT could cross SPY as the top ETF, and MSTR could hit $1 trillion market cap. Well, let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at the ETFs, 100 ETFs by assets. So right now, SPY has $630 billion of AUM, right? So they're adding massive amounts of AUM every year. Like, they're adding 100 billion a year of AUM. That just tells you how much money there is out there that's pouring into these ETFs. And, right here we got IBIT here at 53 billion after only 1 year. I think, we go from 53 billion to 150 billion. We get to almost this level just on Bitcoin appreciation, and or maybe even up to this level, just in Bitcoin appreciation. Now you have a bunch of new inflows. You get up to here, maybe you get to the top. It's possible we get to the top in a year or two. Okay, more likely by 5 years. I think we're at the top. $1 million Bitcoin will get you there. And so I think we're very likely to be at the top of the ETF league tables, if you will, by the end of by 2030 and 2029. So basically, I just want to emphasize that I think the next 5 to 6 years are going to be just absolutely, or 4 to 5 years are going to be absolutely amazing for Bitcoin. I do think we're going to get to $1 million Bitcoin. It may be a little slower. It may take 10 years, but it could happen in 5 years. It could even happen a little earlier. But I mean, you're looking at an asset that could go 10x from here. I think the risk that the asset ends 5 years from now down from where it is very low. And so I think you really just want to be buying Bitcoin, and not just a little bit. You want to be long a lot of Bitcoin. And you don't want to be playing around with it. You just want to be holding it and waiting for this scenario to take place.
Fred positions Bitcoin as a transformative financial asset, poised to disrupt traditional investment paradigms. Its scarcity, decentralized nature, and increasing institutional interest create a compelling narrative for its long-term viability. He envisions a future where Bitcoin not only competes with gold, but also becomes a cornerstone of global financial systems.
I kind of found four main reasons. So the first danger area, if you will, is that you think you have this dreading sensation that it's going down and you want to avoid the pain. So the market looks like it really is not acting well. And a good recent example is June of this year. So let's just take a look at June of this year. So if you look here in June of this year, right? Well, first of all, we hit this high of 70,000, right? Then we went down, and then we went back up, tested the double top, triple top, tested it again on June 5th, and now we're at 70,000. Then it started drifting down to 66,000. Now, it really did not feel good here, right? It felt like it was going to, and you know what? It was going down. It actually went down all the way to 56,000. It tried to make it back up, and then it went back all the way down to 53,000, right, with the Germany selling and Mt. Gox. So it was a short term. It was a good time to sell. And I knew some people who, very good traders, ex-professional traders, and they said they sold everything, and in fact, they went short. Now, the problem with that is really, going back to my tweet, the problem with that is, if you're able to capture out this move, which is a 20% drop, great. Now, the problem is, first of all, you got long-term capital. You have short-term or long-term capital gains. So you're going to be paying a minimum of 20% in tax. Could be as high as 50%, right, to do that. The bigger problem is if you, in fact, even buy in, which a lot of times you don't buy in as much, because the really capturing that dip is very, very hard. So most of the time when these dips happen, even if you buy in, you'll notice that your position is ratcheting down smaller and smaller and smaller. So it just goes to show that you can't time the market. Trading like this is really bad. So if you have to sell to pay some expenses or something, that's fine. But trading because you think it's going down and you think you can take advantage of it does not work.
Fred Krueger's roadmap to a $1 million Bitcoin by 2030 is a testament to the transformative potential of this revolutionary asset. His analysis, rooted in data and historical trends, offers a compelling argument for why the next decade could be Bitcoin's most pivotal period yet. From strategic reserves to institutional adoption and beyond, the factors driving Bitcoin's growth are vast and interconnected. As Fred advises, the key to capitalizing on this opportunity lies in unwavering conviction and a long-term perspective. Whether you're a seasoned investor or new to the world of cryptocurrencies, his insights provide invaluable guidance for navigating this dynamic market. Stay tuned to our channel for more expert analyses and updates on the evolving Bitcoin story.
Please like and subscribe my channel.